To share, but I just wanted to share a couple of slides with you that I did a few months ago with regards to what's happening in and around the world, and I support Brother David in what he was saying with regards to, thank you, with regards to us in Trinidad being a privileged nation. I saw a report that came over early this morning that the United Nations sent a report to Trinidad indicating that based on the amount of earthquakes we have had, and because we have 3 major faults running through our island, we are way overdue for a major earthquake, and they cannot understand how it hasn't happened as yet. And I am of the view that I believe firmly that the church and the prayer of the saints and the people of God that is here and the gospel that is here. People in Nepal this morning, like we said, is picking up the dead. Last night I saw already 1,500 dead that they are looking for. Are you there with me? And I just plugged this in a few minutes ago. Joel chapter 2. Joel chapter 2, reading from verse 27. And I want to share with you a few minutes in scripture, because I did this some months back. Ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, that I am the Lord your God and none else. And my people, everybody say my people. And my people shall never be ashamed. And it is sad, because we were contemplating on shutting down services evening because of the activities in Sipari, and Pastor says, no way. We're going to be here, we're going to come because listen, we have the opportunity to come. Alright, and we're in the process right now of making this complete Revelation series available in terms of what's going on tonight. It's going to be powerful because we'll be dealing with chapters like chapter 12, chapter 13 on the Antichrist, and I'll be sharing in great details what is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years in terms of the world powers that are coming on the scene. If you have not been in one of our recordings yet, you need to be here. We have a lot of people from other churches coming. Alright, and we'll be sending this all over the place. But my people shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour my spirit upon all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Brother Charles, these are the days where you dream plenty dreams. If you're dreaming enough, go back and sleep. Don't you make your dreamers asleep? Your old men shall dream dreams, and there's a role for everybody when the Spirit of God comes. Your young men shall see vision. Not just on Facebook and on YouTube. Vision from the Lord. You'll get a log on to the Holy Ghost that will give you insights into things that is beyond what's taking place. Somebody told me, someone from the church actually dreamt where there were 3 or 4 major earthquakes, 3 or 4 earthquakes that were hit Trinidad a few months ago. And we have actually happened to actually see this past week there. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids and those will I pour out my spirit. I can't remember his actual name, but I just call him Brother Mice. But everybody who you feel may not be doing a big work in the church, who you feel are doing small things. They bring a glass of water, they help lift the offering, they work in the park, they help park the vehicle. You may feel that they're not doing anything much else. Upon the people doing simple work, there are no rank in the church. He will pour the Spirit not just upon the big boys, but even the little boys. Same Spirit. Now watch this. Joel is declaring, I will show wonders in the heavens above. We have been seeing that over the last couple of months, and I shared already that this 16-month block with all these blood moons and darkened sun, that now we are seeing the shit in the earth. Wonders in the heaven. We had a few weeks ago where a comet hit the edge of the sun, created a major explosion that is there, and now it's on its pathway to earth. So they'll be shaking and they'll show wonders in the heaven and in the earth. Blood, there's an increase in bloodshed in the world. Fire, that's the volcanic eruptions. Pillars of smoke, that's going together with that. The sun shall be turned into darkness. We're having 2 of that this year. We had one on March 20th, and there's also one on September 13th. The moon shall be turned into blood. We just had one on April 4th. We're going to have one again on September 28th. Before, everybody say before. The great and terrible day of the Lord. All of these things we are seeing are going to happen before the great and terrible day of the Lord. So, if we are seeing things in the heavens, things in the earth, the blood, the fire, the pillars of smoke, the sun turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, hello, we are in the midst of it. I can't understand how this morning you have people shaking it down on the street. Are you there with me? It shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. We don't really need to have an earthquake to get people to come to church. What do you want? We don't want to have a situation where you have your homes are destroyed and highways are destroyed and people's lives are destroyed before we get to the Lord. You know, it's interesting because in Japan, which was just a few years ago, that had the major tsunami. You remember the earthquake and the tsunami? 2 months prior to that event, they slaughtered the last 15 missionaries in Japan. That major judgment came. Do you know today, the Bible is the 6th fastest selling book in Japan? There's a great revival that came out. But why is there such a need that we need to wait for a disaster to happen before we turn to the Lord? This week we had this one in I think it's Chile or so, a major volcano that erupted that was dormant, blew up twice already. They're expecting a third time, and the ash of it has reached all the way to Brazil. There are the pillars of smoke, fire. There's the one that blew 2 miles of fire in the air. Listen, folks, Bible is happening now. You know, 20 years ago, when I first started to teach in these areas, and you could get one example. Now they're having so much, I have choices to select from. The amount of volcanic pictures now I could get. Just amazing. And listen, beyond a shadow of a doubt, things are rapidly taking place before our time. Are you there with me? So I want to challenge us to continue to pray. Continue to pray for our nation. And more than anything else, guys, let's live the life. And let's go outside here and also share the good news. When these things happen, we can bring it up and see what's taking place. Alright? For our little island, we really don't need a major disaster like this. You know, we really don't know. A lot of us don't have, these big countries can't even deal with it, far less more for us. One person put up on Facebook last night saying we can't even handle a good shower rain in parts of Trinidad, far less more to deal with something. But more than anything else, we use the opportunity to be able to push the gospel out. Amen? Genesis chapter 30, this is what I want to share. Thank you, this is what I want to share on this morning. Genesis chapter 30. Picking it up at verse 27. And Laman said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that the Lord has blessed me for thy sake. Now Jacob is working for his father-in-law Laman. And after 20 years, he worked 7 years for a deal. Then he worked 7 years for the next deal. He can't be a Trinidad. Yeah, no, we are working for 7 years for no deal. And then on top of that, he's going to work 6 years for cattle. 20 years. And after 20 years, his employer, which is his relative, said, for I have learned by experience that the Lord has blessed me for thy sake. Let me tell you, have a lot of jobs and places that you all are working. And they prosper because you are there. They prosper because you are there. And he said, appoint me thy wages and I will give it. After working 20 years, you're now talking wages. Wage negotiation. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. Cattle is wealth. That will have been the means of income for that time. For it was little which thou hast before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And the Lord has blessed thee since my coming. And now, when shall I provide for my own house also? He said, listen, when I take over your business, you had very little. You just had a little para. selling some kurma and doubles and so on like that is there, cutting some coconuts and so on like that on the outside. And since I'm joining a business, you like release ice cream, you move from just pushing a cart down the road to now sitting all over the place. You don't have much. And he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing unto me, I will again feed thy flocks. In other words, don't give me no bonus or income. Let me do my work, and based on what I'm doing, appoint me my wages there. And it shall come to, and I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from hence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle amongst the sheep, and the spotted and speckled amongst the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So in other words, he's going to go, and every one that has diverse colors and so on like that is what he's going to take for himself. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face. Every one that is not speckled and spotted amongst the goats, and brown amongst the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to thy word. Verse 35 says, and he removed that day the he goats that were ring-snake and spotted, and all the she goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown amongst the sheep, and gave it into the hands of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flock. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar, and of hazel and cashew trees, and peeled white streaks in them, and made the white appear, which was in the rods. In other words, then you take your rod and peel off the skin to leave the white on the inside, so you'll be able to see the inside peel. And he set the rod which he had peeled before the flock in the gutter of the watering trough, when the flock came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-snake, speckled and spotted. So here what happened? He went through the crowd of all of the animals, take out all of the animals that had spots, brown, white, anything that was in terms of having any kind of abnormalities in terms of their color, and he kept it for himself. Then the rest of what people call pure color animals, he now go now and sort of feed them water. And what he's doing is that he's going to put in the water trough these sticks with marks. And the flocks conceived before the rod, and brought forth cattle, ring-snake, speckled and spots. So here what he did, he take the pure animal that he's now taking care of leaving, put the rods in front of them, and they start to produce the same type of cattle he already take out. You all understand what's going on? Alright? So he got those to produce the same thing. And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flock towards the ring-snake, and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flock by themselves, and he put them not with Laban's cattle. So everyone of them was spotted or brown, or had more than one colors on the animal. He kept it for himself. He keeps separating it, because that was the agreement. Every one that is multicolored, he will take for himself. You all understand? Verse 41, and it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutter, that they might conceive amongst the rods. So here when you go further, you look for all these strong cattle, and you will put the rods before them so that they will produce multiple colored animals. And all the weak cattle, you move the rods out. Everybody say tactic in business. Somebody might say scheme in business. And when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler, I didn't realize that English word until when I saw this. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger were Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and menservants, and camels, and donkeys. Today I want to share along the lines entitled Spots in Our Water Trough. Spots in your water trough. The life of every believer and family life is under severe attack from the world, the media, and the forces of Satan. Parents are kept busy while our young are loaded with educational responsibility, and they have to cope with a highly destructive world. The battle for our time, our mind, our relationships is on constant attack as our days melt away by rapid bombardment of daily activities. Watching out for our loved one is a task that is difficult even for the average churchgoer. Most of us don't realize that daily we use many types of water from various water troughs. There is a water trough of people and friends, a water trough of mobile communication, a water trough of phone communication, a water trough of television and internet distraction, and all that our passions desire all come from a water trough. Water is essential for life, and it is placed where we depend on for direction, where we take counsel from others, and where we get motivation for our next accomplishment. What we listen to will control you. I'm going to say that again. What you listen to controls you. Or let me put it this way. Who you listen to controls you. Therefore, we are called to ensure that we select who will control us. I am here to declare that there are many spots in our water trough. And as we go through our daily lives, we interact with various water supplies from the elements of the world. Jacob discovered that we can produce what we see within our water troughs. You produce after what you see. I'll say that again. You produce after what you see. As we review that our hearts are being exposed to, we must examine the hidden concepts and principles that are placed in our water troughs. First thing I want to share with you this morning is that we conceive through the eyes. We conceive through the eyes. Deuteronomy chapter 6 verses 5 to 8 declares, "And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk with them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes." Big question. What messages, what concepts, what things are placed before our eyes as we run around on a daily basis and our minds are being bombarded? Jacob is a shepherd over his father-in-law flock that had sheep, or sheep should I say, and goats. My principal was saying no such thing as sheep. Sheep. Next time I say sheep sits. I heard somebody somewhere pronounce that as sheep sits. It is the job of the leader to care and ensure that uncontaminated water are brought before the flock. And let me tell you this, as parents and as leaders, we are constantly ensuring that our people and our children and our young people and our leaders that they are constantly trying to ensure that pure water, pure unadulterated water of the word is come before our people. Jacob used 3 types of rod that he peeled off the back and leave the white ring in the rod and place it within the water trough. We produce what we envision. If you're writing, you need to write that down. We produce what we envision. I tell people, your future depends on the picture that's in your mind. Whatever picture you're holding is where it's going to pull you. And sometimes we need to fix the picture. Are you there with me? Because we can have the wrong picture. If you're married, and sometimes when you get up in the morning, your wife might still have your hair all tied up, and she's still rubbing Vicks and Benji's balm and like a fall and so on like that was there and whatever, and you're wondering really what we want. And when you reach in the office, you have a nice, polished, well-groomed girl there waiting, anxiously there to help you. And if over a period of time, her image becomes the greater picture in your mind that you want at home, you have to watch out because things are changing in your water trough. Yeah. Are you there with me? And that's how you pull your mind back in terms of what's taking place. You had to come back home and say, listen, all this line of coal and Vicks and so on. Praise the name of the Lord. You live with that very married someone. Picture vision is the golden key for advancement. You know, many years ago when I first bought my car, I had a Tarzan car. See, where's a Tarzan car? It's a Mazda 323. Goes from tree to tree. It's a binary to ride it. One day after, she's always sitting in front, one day I take off the carpet and there's a big hole there. I say, oh God, she can have fall through. But I never park the car by the next old car. Never. Pay $10,000 for the car. Take me 3 years to pay for the car. Any I drive up and down the car park looking for a car looking better than mine. And park next to it. When I come out, I make sure I at least rub on the other one. Why do you think sometimes when you see the Santa Fe pack up in the back as one pack next to it? I am trying to fix the picture vision. If I drive truck and I see a BMW, I want to pack up next to it. Are you there with me? So the same thing here too as well. We need to fix the vision that is here. What picture we hold in our souls is what we produce in our life. What picture we hold in our souls is what we will produce in our life. So if you know you have a little weakness for when blood pass. When blood pass and come and sit down in front of you, you get gingerly. She put a quiver in your liver and you start to shiver. We gotta fix the picture. Maybe you only watch it television shows with blondies in it. Fix the picture. Green poplars were new whitish trees. Hazelnuts here speak of almond trees. And cashew trees were plain smooth trees. So he used different type of material to be able to produce the type of rings or the type of discoloration that he wanted to put inside of the water trough. And let me tell you something. One of the things I learned about distraction is they don't come one way, they come multiple ways. There are different strategies that are used. They say there are different strokes for different folks. Various designs of foreign objects in water trough will produce various spots. Ring stripes were actually stripes with bands. Then speckled were marks or covered in small spots. This is how they were actually produced. And then spotted were mixed colors having a section of another color. So for example, you may have a brown boot, and along the brown boot you might have had some sort of white section or that section, that mixing of the colors that are there. So this is what he was actually producing in order to get what he was looking for. There are two main gates to the mind and soul of every individual. The eye gate and the ear gate. And I tell people very clearly, if you want to advance in life, you've got to fix what you hear and what you see. Yes, I will listen or sometimes hear what somebody may say in terms of a comment. But if I realize that somebody only have negative reports, I move you out. Because I don't want to have my air being used as a garbage bin for you to dump what you don't like. Are you there with me? So whenever you want to advance, you actually surround yourself with people that can give you the better things that are there in terms of what you hear and what you see. Are you there with me? If I want to learn how to make cheesecake, I do not go by a mechanic. Are you there with me? I find somebody that is good within that field, surround myself with them so that I can have at least some measure of influence in terms of what's going on. In other words, then, you surround yourself with lights that are brighter than yours. You want to buy a property, you look and read it. I remember when I wanted to buy a property, I was living in a shake and bake house. There was a shake and bake house. It's a small house. I would have put some poles and so on, and put ply and whatever you galvanize and stuff. When the wind's blowing and shaking, and when the sun out, you make it. I remember once I came with some Chinese bush and I buy some rubber slippers on one foot. So I did have one foot in red and the other one blue. Half was working. I used that. But I started to surround myself with people and had things that were better. So I had no money at all. I see house for sale. I go on and I get one of my good looking clothes. I'm going to the clothes. I come to see. Walking late and say, I have $1 to split in half. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to fix the picture. Are you there with me? Trying to fix the picture. Walk through the lawn, walk through everything. Check out kitchen. Want to get to measure bedroom and things. I have no money. Thank you, Lord. Or even foreign cafes and so on like that, they're just up with and so on, and once you know, take one, actually test drive the car to fix the picture. Your two main gates to your mind is your eye gate and ear gate. What is the next big thing you want to go after? Every year, I try to set myself into some new thing that I do. I was in the electrical field. From the electrical field, I ended up working in Scotiabank in Siparia for about 6 months. I am trained in the oil field. All kind of field I did. Then all of a sudden I decided to go after education in terms of the Christian world. They're trained in that. I went into health one particular year. When I got married, my wife had a little garment factory. I had a little clothes now, thread type of clothes. Where you match white with that white, and this is a pop white from the next white, and you can't get the white but I got the other white. I thought everything was white. Every year, you train yourself into something else. The book of Proverbs put great weight on guarding and protecting what you see and what you hear. Let me tell you something. You don't need to know everything about somebody's business. Amen. There's some information and it doesn't benefit you. You don't need that. You don't need that. You know, sometimes when we pray as ministers for people, if I have a person that's a perfect stranger, I feel easy to Holy Spirit. You see, I know nothing about the lights. Whatever you don't show me, I can pray about. But if I know things about you, when I come to pray, then things pop up before what you know they're showing me. And I tell them I'm wrestling now. Because they know I know about what going on in the business. So I can't say it because they know what I say. Well, there's some information you can do without. We are told like Proverbs to protect what we hear and what we see. Guard the air gate and the eye gate. Concept determines conduct.